What if the most hated character in Star Wars wasn't a clumsy fool, but the most successful Sith Lord in history? In the forgotten history of Star Wars fandom, there's a theory so bizarre and so detailed, it was almost completely erased from the official story. This is the story of Darth Jar Jar and how he orchestrated the fall of the Republic. Now, if you think Star Wars is just what you see in the movies, you are missing out. For decades, Jar Jar Binks has been a source of, let's be honest, a lot of arguments. Officially, he's the goofy Gungan outcast who, through a series of accidents, ends up tagging along with Jedi and Queens. George Lucas designed him to be the comic relief, a character for the kids, lightening the mood of a pretty dense story about trade disputes. And let me tell you, on paper, the official story works. We see him fail upwards from a banished outcast to a general. This set, he fumbles through battles, somehow surviving, and even winning through what looks like sheer dumb luck. He is a walking accident whose biggest contribution to the galaxy was a huge mistake made out of pure naivety. That is the official story. But in the shadowy corners of fan forums, a different narrative has taken hold. A hidden history that re-examines every clumsy step and every goofy line of dialogue. It's a theory that asks a pivotal question. What if it was all an act? What if Jar Jar Binks wasn't a fool, but a secret practitioner of the dark side? To understand how, we have to look at the evidence the way theorists do, as a serious investigation into the real Phantom Menace. The first piece of the theory focuses on Jar Jar's physicality. His movements are always awkward and chaotic, but proponents of the theory argue this is a deliberate performance, a form of misdirection. They point to an ancient martial arts style known as Zui Quan, or drunken fist. Practitioners mimic a drunkard's movements to trick opponents using swaying, stumbling motions to generate unexpected power. While this is pure speculation with no official basis, the comparison is striking. Watch Jar Jar during the Battle of Naboo. He swings wildly from a droid tank and perfectly disables multiple enemies. He accidentally fumbles around and takes out an entire squad. Is it just slapstick? Or is it a calculated martial prowess disguised as incompetence? You see, there's a parallel to another master, Yoda. When Luke first meets him, Yoda pretends to be a quirky, annoying little creature. It's a test. Theorists argue that Jar Jar could be the dark side's parallel to this, a master fool using the same strategy of deception. Fans have even pointed out scenes where Jar Jar appears to be subtly mouthing the words of other characters during intense conversations, as if casting a subtle force suggestion. These are tiny details, but when you look at them through the lens of this theory, they start to look less like animation quirks and more like calculated actions. The evidence for Jar Jar's secret nature deepens when you analyze his interactions. One of the most cited pieces of evidence is his use of subtle hand gestures, which look a lot like the hand movements Jedi and Sith use for mind tricks. When Qui-Gon fails to influence Watto, it's established that Toydarians are immune. Yet, when Jar Jar gets into a dispute with the notoriously violent Dug, Sebulba, Jar Jar can be seen waving his hand while pleading. Sebulba, known for his temper, suddenly backs down. Was it just pathetic begging, or was it a subtle push from the Force? The most damning example, of course, comes in his political career. In Attack of the Clones, Jar Jar is constantly making these same hand gestures while speaking. Theorists argue he's using subtle mind tricks to guide the political landscape. Nobody would suspect the bumbling fool of being a master manipulator, making him the perfect infiltrator. Even the actor Ahmed Best has added fuel to the fire. In interviews, he's embraced the theory's popularity, hinting that Lucasfilm backed away from a larger, more sinister role for Jar Jar after the intense fan backlash. He even talked about a deleted scene from Revenge of the Sith, where Palpatine would have thanked Jar Jar for his help, a scene that would have given immense credibility to the theory. So, what do you think so far? Is this just a case of fans reading way too much into a poorly written character, or is there a genuine hidden narrative at play? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this deep dive into the hidden history of Star Wars, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. This brings us to the single most important moment in Jar Jar's career, his proposal in the Galactic Senate. In Attack of the Clones, the Republic is on the brink of war. and Padme is in hiding. Jar Jar is now the acting representative for Naboo, a position of immense power. It's at this critical moment that Chancellor Palpatine hints that he needs emergency powers to create a grand army. The Jedi are hesitant, senators like Bail Organa are opposed, and who steps up to make the official proposal? It's Jar Jar Binks. With a speech that perfectly balances feigned humility and earnest passion, he argues that giving Palpatine unchecked power is the only way to save the Republic. He uses his reputation as a simple-minded, honest fool to his advantage. Who would question his intentions? This act is not fan theory. It is canon. Jar Jar Binks is the individual who hands Palpatine the legal authority to forge the Galactic Empire. His proposal leads directly to the Clone Wars, the Jedi Purge, and the end of democracy. The canonical explanation is that Jar Jar was simply a well-intentioned pawn, but the Darth Jar Jar theory presents a chilling alternative, that this was no mistake. It was the culmination of his mission, delivering the killing blow to the Republic with perfect, plausible deniability. George Lucas himself famously said, "Jar Jar is the key to all of this." And while he was talking about the technical challenge of creating the first fully CGI main character, theorists have latched onto it as a cryptic admission of Jar Jar's true importance to the plot. So what became of the Gungan who handed the galaxy to the Sith? According to the canon novel Aftermath, Empire's End, Jar Jar's fate is a tragic one. He returns to Naboo a pariah, shunned by everyone for his role in the Empire's rise. He becomes a street performer, a literal clown entertaining refugee children, while the adults scorn him. It's a sad, pathetic end. Or is it? For a master of deception, what could be a more perfect final disguise than a forgotten, lonely clown? A perfect position to observe and wait. Actor Ahmed Best has fully embraced the theory, even getting to voice Darth Jar Jar in a non-canon LEGO special. Ultimately, we are left with two possibilities. Was Jar Jar Binks a disastrously written character whose political blunder was an unintentional act of foolishness? A tragic figure manipulated into destroying everything he sought to protect? Or was he the most successful Sith Lord in history? A master spy who played the entire galaxy for a fool, delivered democracy into the hands of a tyrant, and then faded into obscurity, his mission accomplished? A villain so brilliant that almost no one ever realized he was a villain at all. The official story gives us one answer, but the hidden history suggests another, a far darker truth. And perhaps the greatest trick Jar Jar Binks ever pulled was making us debate the question at all.